questions, inshallah. So if that's okay with the Sheikh. So the first question is, did genuine Salafism or the genuine Salafi movement cause a rupture or cause a major rupture?
What's the question?
Did the Salafi movement cause a major rupture? Yeah, cause a major rupture to the Dawah, cause a major rupture between the Muslims, cause a major rupture to the Muslim society, and cause problems, rupture, disunity, etc.
This is based on recent talks from other du'a.
I mean, since the question is open-ended, it's a wide open question, I'll answer it relative to my experience in 1986 when I became a Muslim, and I didn't know anything about the Dawah at all. I met some people who were giving Dawah to the Sunnah, but they were not very aggressive with it. They were what we call immigrants from Lebanon. And although they did a lot of good work that was able to be appreciated looking back retrospectively, they weren't aggressive enough. They weren't aggressive enough. And I believe they were blameworthy for that. But when reverts started taking that Dawah, and when brothers who were born in Islam were not always practicing, they came back to their religion. When the Salafi brothers got the Dawah, they started to become more prolific, more active, and the Dawah started spreading like wildfire. Did it cause a rupture? I think it depends on what a person's definition of a rupture is. I think that some places there was a rupture, in some places not so much. Over in Africa, I saw it was very difficult in places like Egypt, Sudan, Algeria, places like that, where Sufism and Khurafat was the norm. When Salafiyya came, it was a rupture because you got ignorance being confronted with nur and light. And the natural result of that is what happened in Mecca. There's going to be a clash of ideas. So is that a rupture? Well, it's what happened with the prophets and the messengers. Salawatullahi wasalam. The prophets would come with the Dawah, and the people said, this is not what our fathers were doing. They were fighting against the prophets and the messengers. So I guess in that respect, it was a rupture. But for the African American community, who are very thirsty for the knowledge of Al-Islam and the Sunnah, going through the thing we went through, it's real messed up. Nation of Islam, and then they became real Muslims, and they were real ignorant. And then when we heard people talk about the Sunnah, we accepted it very easily. There was no rupture, because Islam was new to us already. And you still have people from the African American community who wanted to be on what they were upon, but for the most part, Dawah Salafiyya took over not took over in an aggressive way, took over in iqtina, where people were convinced. There's another issue I would like to bring to the table here as well, is that we don't run from things like that. LGBT and standing up for the truth is going to cause a rupture. What are we going to do? Try to smooth into this issue? There was no smoothing into this issue. Those people got power. They have reached the upper echelons of, running the world. What we think? We just going to slip into this and slide into this, going to go away? So this thing that happened with the Muslims when the Battle of Badr happened is really important, is that the companions were promised, you're going to get one of the two victories. You get one or two things. And Allah Ta'ala described what they wanted. They wanted the ذات غير شوكة أن تكون لكم. You wanted the easy thing to be for you. You go and you defeat them and you get the money without fighting. But Allah wanted something else. And that was you would fight and you would kill them, they would kill you, you would be killed, so forth and so on. But naturally, the companions, they wanted, you don't want no confrontation. That's Bani Adam. That's his nature. So I think, generally speaking, rupture, that's a big word. Some places there are ruptures that I know about where there's a lot of fighting. It was usually because there's a strong Sufi stronghold there. And as a result of that, they were not giving up and allowing any room for the Dawah to expand. But despite them, husband anhum is still spread. Last thing I want to mention concerning that is, it is from hikmah to make decisions to get the honey from the bee without getting stung. This is our religion. That's hikmah. وَضْعُ شَيْءٍ فِي مَحَلِّهِ الْمُنَاسِبِ. Putting things in a proper place. Being rough, tough, well, that's the best thing. Being quiet, and that's the best thing. Being soft and gentle. I'm married. Some of you are married. I can go and be an alpha male and talk to my wife and my children any way that I want to. But if I want to get the most traction and the best results from them, the best thing to do is to have good skills. That's why Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan, radiallahu anhu, he said, and he was the leader of the Muslims in the Sham, لو كانت بيني وبين الناس شعرة واحدة لما انقطعت. If there existed between me, I'm the governor, I'm in control of the people. If there only consisted between me and them a strand of hair, he said, wallahi, that hair would never break. When they let it loose, then I'll pull. When they pull, I let it loose. Meaning you have to have some ability to manage and to deal with people like the imam here, the admin here. If you rough and tough, it's going to be a problem. Now, in with that. فبما رحمة من الله لنت لهم وكنت فظا غليظ القلب انفضوا من حولك. If you were rough and tough with them, Muhammad, they would have left you and dispersed. Nobody wants to see anybody dealing with them nasty. Your wife, your children. It was a rahmah. If you were rough and tough, they would have left you. If you were hard-hearted and so forth and so on. Analyze alim. I'm sorry.